So I'm at CES 2025, I'm in Lexar booth. There's something I really want to try. They have released this for a few months, which is this one. My CES 2025 coverage is sponsored by Holy Land, NordVPN, and Xiaoli. You know, iPhone 15, 16, you can record video directly into an external SSD. With this, you can do this. What others are doing is that, they have this as well. Lexar have this as well. This is with MagSafe thing. You stick it to your phone, and then you still have to connect this with a wire. So you still a cable there. And then what about you want to charge your phone? But this, just that. But also, there is a USB-C hub as well. What does it do is that it plug into your phone. It just stay there. You don't need a stand, you don't need a mount, and then you put your SSD here. And there's a plug on top. This is for power. Yeah, this is for power. So you can power your phone, and then here you can plug in something else as well. So you can end up like this. That's my USB-C mic, and then a power bank. This is a power bank. Plug in the top. It wiggle a little bit. Yeah, I give you that. But then this is really heavy. It got a really heavy battery on top. But it don't fall. Yeah, that's low mount. There's no mounts or stands or whatever, stuff like that. But one thing I personally really want to do is that I now start to use my iPad to do some light editing. I use an iPad Final Cut Pro for iPad on my iPad to do a rough cut. The thing is that I want to lie on my sofa to do editing. So I do a rough cut on my sofa, on my iPad, and then I transfer it to my Mac to finish the editing. But the thing is, when I plug in a SSD here, it's just there's a cable, either there's a cable or then there's an SSD that's dangling over here. But with this, just do that. And I can just do this, just editing like that. And then plug in the hub, and then plug in the SSD, and then I can still charge my iPad. The thing is, I have been thinking, I've been trying to make this work. I plug in an SSD to edit, and then the power go down. I forgot to charge it or something. But this, so small. There's nothing dangling anymore. Well, unless you have to plug in a power, but then, yeah, this is so much better. It works here. Also, it works on camera. If your camera support SSD, I can actually plug in directly onto my S5 Mark IIX. No cable. Again, no cable. I don't have to get a mount, or I don't have to get a cage or whatever, just plug this in. They also have this cold shoe mount, so this also works if you want to use a cage or something. Sadly, when I try to use it on my camera, the cable doesn't seem long enough. After all, this is not designed for use with camera, and you can definitely find other ways to mount it. Really tiny SSD. 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte option. It's not cheap, but what you're paying for is from that and with a cable to just plug this in. There. No cable, no mount. Yeah, you're paying for that. Plenty cool. There's a silver one, and then there's a matte black one as well. The whole thing is metal, feels really good. And then they are now kind of going into like LaCie or G Drive, that kind of thing, because they got this. This is a huge hard Thunderbolt 4, support Thunderbolt 4. You can plug in something like SSD like this, or you can have other card reader as well, like SD card. Of course, you can imagine SD card, CF Express, Type A, Type B, totally 6-bay, connect to your laptop, desktop, workstation kind of stuff. And then this is new. This is coming soon new. So this is 2-bay. Use the same thing of that. You can plug it here. So now suddenly you have 2 terabytes to edit from. And also this connect to your laptop or your phone. Now one thing is that because this need power to work, so they have a power bank as well. This is a power bank that directly work with that. So like that, and plug that in. Magnetic as well.
The clever thing is that by itself it might just be a card reader and a SSD and the dock, but it is also designed to work with a phone app that turns it into a remote backup solution without a laptop. If you remember the Larbox before, I love this thing, but unfortunately the company went out, and when they stopped updating the software, I can't rely on this anymore. But this could be a great replacement. It's modular, you can change, you can upgrade the card reader and SSD. You can even power it with just any power bank instead of proprietary battery or even worse, built-in battery. The only thing is that it needs the phone to be connected for the whole backup process rather than a standalone product. But still, with this you can back up without a laptop, and I'm really curious to try this out.
My CES 2025 trip is made possible by Xiaoli, NordVPN, and Holy Land. The mic I'm using right here, Holy Land, I'm using the brand new Holy Land Lark M2S. It's so small, and then even in this show floor in the CES, so many interference, it still works perfectly. And using Xiaoli Travel eSIM, you just download the app, pick a plan, install the eSIM, and done. Actually really simple. No more changing those tiny SIM card on the tiny airplane tray table anymore. Get 15% off with the coupon code LOCKCHURN.